Sonic Wings Special is a vertical scrolling shooter game that was released for the PlayStation back in 1996, and this is a unique limited version of the game as it combines all of the three original games in the series, Sonic Wings, Sonic Wings 2 and Sonic Wings 3, all into one package. And it is all a port of the very popular arcade game that was released in Japan only. The game also did get a subsequent release, not only just in the arcade but on the Sega Saturn, and in recent years you can now play it on the likes of Android devices, which is pretty cool. So with the amount of content in the game, you have access to multiple fighter pilots with loads of different teams and jets that you can choose from, with a load of hidden options and extras that you can unlock throughout the course of play. And one of the cool unique features is that each unique fighter or pilot that you use in the game has their own very unique and special abilities that is only suited to them alone. As with instance, I was playing as a character from the Japanese region, and some of his special moves, when you're shooting from the plane, he shoots like daggers and ninja shurikens or stars from his ship. So the fighting style is very unique to the character itself that you choose to play as. So that in itself is a pretty cool feature, and it's easy to see why it was so popular in the arcades. The game consists of a total of 17 stages. There are 9 that are mainly playable from the start, but you have to gradually unlock them as you play through the game. And the gameplay starts off relatively simple enough, with the first few levels being relatively easy to play through, but as you go through the game does increase somewhat in difficulty the further you get into the game, where at the end of each level you do have some bosses to fight against that can really test your overall skill and resolve to complete the levels. But the one thing to note when you're playing through the game is, from what I found, is when you're playing through the first few levels, even if you manage to lose all of your lives, you will end up having to continue the game, but you can continue on from the point that you were on in the level. But that changes when you get further on in the game, because when you lose all your lives in later levels, you can no longer just continue on from the point that you're at. Instead, it forces you to restart the entire level, so you'll end up restarting with limited abilities, and you have to keep defeating enemies to gather more power-ups so that you can gain more powerful weapons. But again, if you end up losing all your lives, which you more than likely will, because the later levels in the game are very difficult, you'll find that you will have to continuously repeat the level over and over again from scratch, which can get very frustrating. But that's just a common practice with a lot of these vertical scrolling shooters, and this game is no different to a lot of these type of games that were not only just released on the PlayStation but on other consoles in general over the years, and they are very popular in their own right in terms of what they offer. And this game is very similar to a lot of other types of games that were also released on the system, even likes of games like Super Mobile Light Force and other games like it. They all play very similar. All in all, it's a fun game to play that does offer a very unique and yet at times difficult challenge, but there's more than enough gameplay elements here to keep you playing, especially if you are into these type of games. You will have to play through it quite a bit and a few times over to unlock all of the features that the game has to offer. So that in itself, if it's something you'd like to do, it is worthwhile playing. So you'll definitely get your money's worth, that's for sure. And I would love to know your thoughts on Sonic Special Wings for the PlayStation, and did you play it yourself back in the day? Even though this game was exclusive mainly to Japan, but in later years you were able to play it on different types of devices. So if you have managed to play it, what are your thoughts on the game, and do you enjoy these type of games in general? Be sure to share it down in the comments below. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be updated when future videos are released. And if you'd like to see more videos on similar types of scrolling shooter games that were released on the PS1, then be sure to check out the playlist on screen here to find more of these games and see them in action. So check out the playlist here of more games to see them in action. And until next time, make sure to keep playing those classic games and enjoying them, and keep those gaming memories alive.